Entrevistas Alfa.
Hola, soy Andrea Tasier de Alfa 91.3 y hoy estoy con una banda que más que seguir una sola línea, ha sabido moverse entre la intensidad emocional, la tensión social y la construcción de universos cada vez más ambiciosos. They are one of the most compelling British bands of their generation. I'm here with Conor from Nothing But
Hello.
Thieves. Thank you so much for being here.
No, no worries. My pleasure.
You've been a band for over a decade now, and not every
Yes.
band uses time the same way. I was thinking about it. Some become more certain of who they are, and others become, I guess, more curious. So, what do you think time has given Nothing But Thieves? Clarity, freedom,
Question.
or questions?
That is a great question. I love that question. And it is both, and it's quite distinctly both, because when we started, we were so young and just figuring out what it was to be in a band and what it was we even were musically. Like it's the three of us who write are so different in our tastes. And I think when we started, I remember thinking that was going to be a challenge and how we were going to agree on stuff and how we were going to ever get it to work to make one song, let alone multiple albums. And then that became our strength. So the fact that when we did the first record, it was so all over the place, and there was like synth and got classic rock and then kind of melancholic folky songwriting. It was all over the shop. That became our thing. So as we got older, that's why it's both, because we became clear on what we are, and what we are is the freedom to be whatever we want to be. It's musically all over the place, and it always has been. And the thread is just us and my voice that ties it together. But we've never boxed ourselves in, never restrained ourselves to being a certain thing. We've just explored the plethora of genres that we've always loved since we were young, and there'll be new ones that we discover as we get older as well. So, yeah, that's what I would say to that question. It's both.
I love that. I love that you can say that you've been free from the beginning.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
So your music can feel massive, but there's usually something very human at the center of it. So
Mm,
I was curious, when you're building a song, what tells you that that it still has a real emotional pulse? Like
yeah.
it's not just sounding big, but actually meaning something
Oh,
big.
yeah. Hugely important to us. Like the song has to have a soul. It has to function with just acoustic guitar or just a piano. It has to function as a song with a soul and a meaning before you get clever with it. Um, People lose that, you know? I swear as bands get bigger, they seem to lose the sense of soul in the song. Not every band, but you start noticing the trend, and it's so important for us to. It's probably even more important now than it ever was. Of like, it comes from a songwriting standpoint first, of like singer-songwriter folk songwriting and turning it into whatever we want to, whatever it's going to turn into. But as long as it's got, like we were talking the other day, we were working on a song that could come out really large, and we were like, we also could just scrap it all and just play it on the acoustic, and it would just be a great song. So it's nice having that as a fundamental thing for us always. It's got to have a real heart and emotion.
Yeah, definitely. So is that something that you recognize immediately, or is it something that kind of reveals later in the process?
It depends on the song. Depends how the song started. Say the songs, say one of us has come in with half an idea. You roughly know the emotional bandwidth that's starting with. Not that it can't change, but you know where you're emotionally heading. Say you've started from a riff, weave your way in and find the sticking point of the emotional bone, really, like that. You find it as you go, but it's always got to be there. And then when it's not, it's really obvious. We say all the time, like, I don't understand that song. That doesn't really do anything for me, and it's quickly scrapped because it isn't just about tricks and loud vocals and big guitar riffs. It's about what's the point of this song and what's it doing for us and for the album. So those they quickly get recognized. Um, Definitely personally as well. Definitely a big sticking point for me is when I can't understand the emotional point of the song when it's just too clever rather than emotional. That I can't really get past that. Can be a bit of a blockade for me. So that's, yeah, it's always kind of present when it comes to songwriting.
A lot of your music captures emotional pressure, but in a very modern way. I think it's just not about heartbreak, but you talk a lot about a lot of modern emotions, like maybe overstimulation or uncertainty, or even the feeling of caring too much at once.
Wait.
Yeah. So do you think songs can sometimes process things that people still don't know how to explain, maybe in conversation?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's regardless of songwriting. I think that's any art. It's like if you're deadly honest with yourself and you think it's weird or nuanced or oh, no one will get that because that's way too personal to me and it's no one's ever felt that emotion ever in the history of humans on planet Earth. That's how you feel sometimes with we all feel that, right? With all of our emotions. So it's like when it comes to any art, I think, yeah, the more nuanced you are, the more personal you are, the more people connect to it because they're like, oh yeah, I did have that. I felt that too. I thought that was weird. But yeah, so it's kind of the beige, I think the beige plaintive emotions. Nothing wrong like with pop songs at all. I love pop songs, but sometimes the lyric can be so on the nose that obviously everyone's felt that heartbreak, but no one connects to it deeply because it doesn't have that little glimmer and a glitter of a nuance of a detail that we go, oh wow, yeah, that's cool. I've been there. I've seen that too, you know. So yeah, I think the truth is like it is being super direct and honest with your art, and then that will connect with people.
Definitely. And I think it's really interesting that you're saying it that way, because that's what I feel when I'm listening to your music. I feel like maybe some songs feel like they were written to be understood, while others feel like they were written to let people live inside of them. So I was thinking, when you're writing, are you trying to communicate something clearly, or are you more interested in creating a space where people can project maybe their own emotional reality inside of the song?
It's both, really. I think we say together that when it leaves our studio, it's not really ours anymore.
Yeah.
It becomes whatever people interpret it to be. Like we had songs early on, song in particular called Graveyard Whistling, which is peculiar for me. It's such a case study where it's to us it is so clear what it's about, you know? And I can talk about it and I can say what it's about, but it's so interesting what people think it's about and what people have emotionally connected to it being about. And I almost don't want to spoil it for them. It's like, you know, we what it's about, we strongly believe in. So it's really interesting. That song's a case study for us. Especially because it's been covered recently by Morgan Wallen, who's a huge country artist, and it's his spin on what he gets from the song to me is peculiar. It's like I'm really intrigued. I'd love to talk to him and be like, what do you hear in the song that's made you want to cover it? Because I can't imagine it's what we wrote it about. So that's, but I don't care. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, like if you're happy, it makes you happy, and you connect to it, then that's brilliant. So yeah, I think most songs I'm more than sure I've listened to a billion, like 100 songs in my life that I thought were about this, and I've connected to with my like 15-year-old brain, and then been like, oh, actually, no, it's not about that. But I don't care, you know. It's just how you feel when you're listening to it. So yeah, really, to us, we make the songs, we write the songs, and then we just let go, and we just go on tour and let them be other people's. Yeah, I think it's really important, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I love that you actually say that they're not ours anymore.
Yeah, it's not. You've done it. You leave it, the art's out of you, and you let people enjoy it and connect to it. Yeah.
Your voice is such a recognizable part of the band. You know that. But what
Thank
makes it
you.
powerful I think, isn't just the range, but it's more like the sound in control and collapse almost at the same time. So when you sing, do you feel more interested in precision or in catching the exact emotion in the moment, even if it's maybe
100%. 100%. It's always about capturing the emotion. Like, I don't think about the technical side of it ever. I probably did when we were younger because I was classically trained, so but then it becomes it's like, you know, it's like any skill that you put your hours into, you don't think about it as much anymore in terms of like the muscles that you're using and getting it out. So what I do connect with every single time I sing, it doesn't even matter if it's at karaoke or like something so small. It's like I connect to the emotion that I want people to feel. I connect to the emotion that I want to feel when I'm singing this song right here in this moment. And I'm think I have a good I'd like to think I have a good emotional bone with my voice where I know how to make it sound a certain way to pull on that thing for me. So it's definitely about connecting to the emotional tone and the feeling so much more than the technique. The only thing I use the technique for is to make sure it's in good shape, you know, is in like I still sing in a classical singing way because I want to protect my voice. But because I do that, it allows me to actually push on things like rasp more or nastier techniques because I know I'm covered in terms of technique. So it gives me the freedom to just only have to think about my emotional connection to the moment, you know, of the song and to
Definitely.
myself in the moment, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So now my last question. I feel like a lot of artists spend years trying to become bigger, but once that happens, another question appears. How do you keep growing without becoming less honest? Like, have you ever had to protect something essential in the band from success itself?
Yes, health and happiness
Yeah.
is the key to everything with us, to longevity. It was very clear early on, pre Broken Machine, that the band would break up if it hadn't carried on as intensely as it did. I think we played 150 shows or 155 shows in 1 year,
Wow.
which is borderline one show every other day,
Yeah.
or just under. And it killed me. And not just me, I think I was just the most vocal about it, but everyone, but it really, really messed me up. So I would say that the core of keeping the band alive and happy and popping and thriving is the fact that we are smart about it and we put our friendship, our health, and our happiness first. And the touring has become so much easier. And it does help that we put in the hours and we're a bigger band, so you can afford to play bigger shows, which means less shows in, you know, around a sort of like a county, like an area. And the shows are nicer, the hotels are nicer, and it all becomes slightly easier on the body as you get older because you have more comforts. And that's really what's kept us going. If we're happy and we're healthy, that sort of side of it doesn't bother us at all. It's like it's all it makes us want to be in the band still when we're like having a good time. That's the key for us. I don't even know if that was a question. I've just gone on a huge tangent there, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, we ran out of time way too fast.
it's
Uh,
me rambling. I'm sorry.
no. I loved this conversation. It was really interesting. Conor, thank you so much for this conversation and
No
for
worries.
being yourself with me. Yo soy Andrea Tassier y esto es Alfa 91.3. Thank you so much, Conor.
Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias.
Entrevistas Alfa.